It's December 22nd, 2017.
This is Nerd Bourbon episode 29, and I'm dreaming. I'm Seth Sturgill.
And I'm Todd Sturgill, I guess. But
You guess. You're a holiday caretaker this week, Todd.
is that what I am?
Yes.
It's strange because you're usually the holiday guy.
Not this week. I'm not. I'm all Christmas cheered out this year, Todd. You gotta pick up the slack for me this year.
Oh.
Before we move this into a Christmas direction, let me see if I can come up with a word for this. A Kringleian direction.
I despise that word.
I like it. Kringleian. Reminds me of Gilligan's Island, Todd. You remember that classic show?
I never watched it, but I know of it.
Never seen Gilligan's Island?
I never watched it.
Oh boy, oh boy. Did you at least see the classic Jack Black remake? Wasn't that a thing? Didn't they make one with Jack Black?
No.
What am I thinking of?
He did do something. That was like he did something with that wasn't Gilligan's Island. That was like a book that has like where like there's like small people and shit. I don't remember the name of the book.
Shit. Yeah, what? Oh man.
I remember I feel like the name of the little people were like little something. I don't fucking remember, dude. It's been so long.
Oh man.
I read that book.
Why did I think of that movie, and B, why did I think that was a remake of Gilligan's Island?
I mean, he technically goes to an island.
You ever have shit like that where like you just have like a memory of something that's just like
it mismatches. It just forms together. Yeah, I've had that.
Gulliver's Travels. That's what it is.
There you go. That's
okay,
right.
So that's like kind of Gulliver's Travels, Gilligan's Islands, fucking tomato, Todd.
It's not forgivable.
Before we move into this Kringleian direction, I want to address a hilarious story that's been making the rounds, and as the resident Harry Potter fan, I feel like it is my sacred duty to relay this information to the people that don't know about it. So, are you familiar with the website Botnik?
I'm not familiar with the website, but I am familiar with what you're about to bring up.
Yeah, so Botnik is a website that, as far as I understand it, they have created a series of algorithms that are basically they have some sort of algorithm where you put in a collection of words and it sort of makes like a story or a sentence based on like the words that you put in, but it makes it like coherent. So, and the more words you put into it, the more coherent the story is. So, what people have done is they threw in a bunch of the Harry Potter books into Botnik.
Okay.
And it spat out a chapter, an entirely new chapter of a brand new Harry Potter book entitled Harry Potter and the Portrait of What Looked Like a Large Pile of Ash. Bear in mind, this is all just like randomly generated from like a bot. I'm going to read from the chapter that it created. It's chapter 13 of this book. Chapter 13, The Handsome One.
Oh, no.
The castle grounds snarled with a wave of magically magnified wind. The sky outside was a great black ceiling, which was full of blood.
Here's the deal. I knew about this whole thing, but I didn't actually read it.
Oh, it's so good. It's delicious, dude. There's some like, and it's hilarious because again, this is all just like happening randomly through like this random word generator bot's algorithm, and like there's some insanely quotable things that like I would love to have on a t-shirt, that it came up with. The only sounds drifting from Hagrid's hut were the disdainful shrieks of his own furniture. Magic. It was something that Harry Potter thought was very good. Leathery sheets of rain lashed at Harry's ghost as he walked...
Leathery sheets of rain?
Yes. As he walked across the grounds toward the castle. Ron was standing there and doing a kind of frenzied tap dance. He saw Harry and immediately began to eat Hermione's family.
Fuck it then, alright.
Oh, this next sentence is so good. Ron's Ron shirt was just as bad as Ron himself.
Oh, that's some good shit.
If you two can't clump happily, I'm going to get aggressive, confessed the reasonable Hermione. What about Ron magic? Offered Ron. Oh, this is my favorite. This is my favorite part right here. To Harry, Ron was a loud, slow, and soft bird. Harry did not like to think about birds. I want more than anything to have that on a shirt.
That is some good shit.
Death Eaters are on top of the castle, Ron bleated, quivering. Ron was going to be spiders. He just was. He wasn't proud of that, but it was going to be hard not to have spiders all over his body after it's said and done. Look, said Hermione. Obviously, there are loads of Death Eaters in the castle. Let's listen in on their meetings. The three complete friends zapped onto the landing outside the door to the castle roof. They almost legged it, but witches are not climbing. Ron looked at the doorknob and then looked at Hermione with searing pain. I think it's closed, he noticed. Locked, said Mr. Staircase, the shabby-robed ghost.
Mr. Staircase.
Yes, some classic character.
I want someone to, like, draw him.
J.K. Rowling herself could not have come up with a better character.
Like, I want fan art of Mr. Staircase.
They looked at the door, screaming about how closed it was, and asking it to be replaced with a small orb. The password was beef women, Hermione cried. Harry, Ron, and Hermione quietly stood behind a circle of Death Eaters who looked bad. I think it's okay if you like me, said one Death Eater. Thank you very much, replied the other. The first Death Eater confidently leaned forward to plant a kiss on his cheek. Oh, well done, said the second as his friend stepped back again. All the other Death Eaters clapped politely. Then they all took a few minutes to go over the plan to get rid of Harry's magic. I love the image of just like a meeting of Death Eaters being sweet and kissing each other on the cheeks and clapping and stuff.
Just going.
Harry could tell that Voldemort was standing right behind him. He felt a great overreaction. Harry tore his eyes from his head and threw them into the forest. Voldemort raised his eyebrows at Harry, who could not see anything at the moment. Voldemort, you're a very bad man and mean wizard, Harry savagely said. Hermione nodded encouragingly. The tall Death Eater was wearing a shirt that said, Hermione has forgotten how to dance. So Hermione dipped his face in mud.
I want that shirt.
Hermione has forgotten how to dance. Ron threw a wand at Voldemort and everyone applauded. Ron smiled. Ron reached for his wand slowly. Ron's the handsome one, muttered Harry as he reluctantly reached for his. They cast a spell or two and jets of green light shot out of the Death Eaters' heads. Ron flinched. Not so handsome now, thought Harry, as he dipped Hermione in hot sauce. The Death Eaters were dead now, and Harry was hungrier than he had ever been. The great hall was filled with incredible moaning chandeliers and large librarian who had decorated the sinks with books about masonry. Mountains of mice exploded. Several long pumpkins fell out of McGonagall. Dumbledore's hair scooted next to Hermione as Dumbledore arrived at school. The pig of Hufflepuff pulsed like a large bullfrog. Dumbledore smiled at it and placed his hand on its head. You are Hagrid now.
What?
We're the only people who matter. He's never going to get rid of us. Harry, Hermione, and Ron said in chorus. That's the realest shit. That is the realest shit that's ever been said about Harry Potter. The floor of the castle seemed like a large pile of magic. The Dursleys had never been to the castle, and they were not about to come there in Harry Potter and the Portrait of what looked like a large pile of ash. Harry looked around and then fell down the spiral staircase for the rest of the summer. "I'm Harry Potter," Harry began yelling. "The dark arts better be worried, oh boy." The end.
That was my favorite piece of Harry Potter literature.
I want that.
Ever.
I'm ready for the movie adaptation.
Oh, I enjoyed that chapter more than a Cursed Child.
Oh man, you're goddamn right about that. I love that. I love that fucking line, man. To Harry, Ron was like a small, soft bird. Harry did not like to think about birds.
Oh, that's terrible. I love that. I'm happy. I'm happy I didn't read it all. I'm happy you read it to me.
Oh, it's beautiful, man. I was like, the first time I read it, I was just dying. It was so good. Anyway, enough about that, Todd. Let's get Kringleian up in this bitch.
Oh dear Lord, I hate you. But yeah, let's do it. It's the Christmas episode.
Yeah, boy, let's get Christmassy, man. You're the holiday spirit caretaker. Why don't you start us off? How do you feel about Christmas?
Well, personally nowadays, it's all right. It's whatever.
Did you like it when you were a kid?
Oh, well, here's the deal. I used to love all holidays until I got into retail.
Then your soul was taken from you.
Yeah, and then you start working all those holidays, and you start looking at people with just disgust and hatred,
With contempt in your heart.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's like Christmas is. Oh, sorry, but we can't say Christmas. We can't say Christmas at all this episode.
Oh yeah, you're right. We got to be very
holidays.
PC. Yeah.
I apologize to everyone listening. Happy holidays.
You know what's funny? I've worked in retail for 10 years, as we've touched on before. Down where I live in Louisiana, very, very Christian area.
Mm-hmm.
But the places that I've worked still, and understandably so, they still want you to say happy holidays.
Well, it's more or less like, I think more or less that becomes just a company policy.
Pretty much, because
they
they just want you. They want you to say happy holidays so you don't potentially offend anybody or whatever. Because that's all it takes is one atheist asshole to be like, actually, I don't celebrate Christmas. I'm a fucking atheist, or whatever. It's like when you if somebody says if an atheist sneezes and you say God bless you, there is no God, motherfucker.
Oh, you know what? I've actually heard somebody say that.
I hate that shit, dude.
It's just
they're just being polite. Fuck you, get over it.
Some real shit, dude.
I'm not religious or whatever, but fucking go fuck yourself, I'm not gonna rub it in anybody's face,
Yeah, I think I've said this. Anybody that goes out of the way to be a jackass, like you are, you annoy me.
Yeah, But anyway, I actually have had people down here. So I tend now to just not say happy holidays or Merry Christmas at all when it comes to work, because I have had people literally I'll say happy holidays, and I'll have some guy just be like, no, say Merry Christmas, boy. It's Christmas, goddammit. Let's put the Christ back in Christmas, goddammit. You say Merry Christmas. I'm just like, no.
That's some good shit.
No, actually, it's company mandated. I can't say Merry Christmas, sir. Oh, that's goddamn sad right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Is that actually happened, really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not even, I shouldn't even be surprised by that.
That's the world we're living in. It's you know what? I'm not even surprised by that. It's the end times, I swear to God. We're trying to take Christ out of Christmas. Yeah. Yeah, I love Christmas. I've always loved Christmas. It's like, it's funny. The older I get, the more. The thing about Christmas is I love the vibes of Christmas. I love the things surrounding Christmas. I love I love the lights and the candy canes and the hot chocolate, and I love Christmas movies, and I like a lot of Christmas music, and I like the family togetherness, and I love giving gifts to people and stuff like that. But the problem is Christmas has just become so consumerist,
Oh, of course, dude. Of course. That's everything. That's what holidays are in a nutshell nowadays.
I say has become. It's always been very consumerist, but like I don't know, just it's become, the older I get, the more just blatantly obvious it is that it's just all about spending money. Which is why, like, you go to Walmart in October and they've already got Christmas shit up, like.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's a weird thing because, like, on one hand, I love that stuff. Like, I love to go and see all that stuff, and I love walking into Walmart in October and being like, oh man, yeah, Christmas. But then I'm like, oh yeah, right. They just want me to spend money, It's all just for industry, and that's a bit of a bummer when you realize that more and more growing up. But
Yeah.
But I love to give gifts. I have a fairly large family in my immediate family, and it's always nice kind of like going over to my parents' house on Christmas and seeing, like, I have young nephews and stuff, and it's nice like watching them unwrap presents and see the spark in their eyes. It's just nice.
Before it dies when they get older.
Yeah, before the cycle begins anew and they get into retail and they lose their soul. I don't know, man. Like, I like the vibes of Christmas a lot. Our grandfather, our PaPaw, it's a time of year. I always miss him around this time of year. He passed away a little over 8 years ago now. And he was always a big purveyor of Christmas, and in a lot of ways in life, and in this way also, I sort of feel like it's almost my duty to carry on his legacy a little bit, I guess. Like,
yeah, kind of like carry the torch.
Yeah, like, in a lot of ways I feel like that, because I'm just like after he passed away, it was like one of the most affecting moments of my life. And he was quite literally the best human being I've ever met. Mm-hmm. Just a wonderful, wonderful man. And he, when he passed away, it was definitely like a huge deal for me. And in a lot of ways, I just kind of want to like carry forward the things that he cared about. And like, when I have kids and I have grandkids, I hope that I am like half the grandfather to my grandkids as he was to me. And I want to sort of carry forward his love of Christmas and my family the way that he did to his, because he may not have been like a rich man, but like, he always made sure when you went to Granny's house around Christmas time, it was always decorated. It was always like, there was always a lot of just like holiday cheer present in their house. And he was always a huge purveyor of that. So I want to carry that forward into my adulthood. So
I'm gonna call you out right now. Next time I see you, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you for you making me tear up on the podcast.
Getting emotional and shit. Yeah, no, it's just true, man. Like, I just miss him a lot during Christmas time.
No, dude, come on, man. Yeah, come on.
He was a big holiday caretaker, for sure. So
everything that you were saying with like the vibes and all that, the only thing I agree with all of it except hot cocoa.
You don't like hot cocoa?
Here's my deal. I don't like any hot beverages.
Fuck's wrong with you, sir?
It's how I've always been. Like, I don't like coffee. I don't like hot chocolate. I don't like hot tea. I don't like any of it.
You just don't like drinking something hot?
Basically.
Man, I love it. Like, I love it. I will fuck with some hot cocoa, man. I'll tell you the secret. The secret of great hot chocolate. First of all, you never make it with water. People make hot cocoa with water, and I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's fine. Like, it's serviceable to have hot cocoa with water, but like, once you make it with milk, it is just not even. It's not even a contest.
See, that might be the issue. I don't think I've ever had it with milk.
Yeah, you don't do it with water. Never with water. If you have milk, if milk is present, you don't do it with water. You have some hot milk, and then you mix really, if you want the authentic experience, like my mom, she'll get a big ass like crock pot, and like literally get milk and literally melt chocolate in the milk, and it's literal chocolate. And if you want to go a step further, this was really gross. Starbucks, either a year or two ago, had a new product called drinking chocolate. They were very careful not to call it hot chocolate or hot cocoa. It was Coke. It was hot chocolate, but it was literally just some melted chocolate. It was like disgustingly thick, and like it was so bad. I couldn't even tell you how bad it was. But yeah,
that sounds awful.
But yeah, you want to make it with milk for sure. And then what I like to do, if you like a peppermint kind of hot chocolate, I like to stick literally just like break a candy cane in half and throw the little curvy part in there. And then I also like a little dash of cinnamon in my hot chocolate. But the secret to any chocolate-based drink, I'm talking about hot chocolate, chocolate milk, whatever, a pinch of salt. Sounds gross. It really elevates it.
What, the salt?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, salt and chocolate works really well together, so I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, so, well, and I even do it to coffee. Like, with my coffee, I don't put any cream in it at all. I put a spoonful of sugar and a pinch of salt. That's it. To me, salt just so intensifies those flavors, and it's not like it makes it taste salty. Like, when I tell people that I put salt in my cocoa, they're like, what the fuck are you doing? But it's the same thing like if you ever baked cookies. Salt is an active ingredient because it intensifies those flavors. Like you put like a little teaspoon of salt whenever you bake cookies. Mm-hmm. And it's just a thing, man. Like salt is an important flavor intensifier. So that's a pro tip. If you ever make hot chocolate, the two things that you must do, use milk, not water, and put a pinch of salt in that bitch. And thank me later.
I might give that a try.
Thank me later. And then I like to do, if you want to go for the, I prefer putting whipped cream in mine versus marshmallows. I usually won't have anything in it, but if I do, I'll have whipped cream versus marshmallows. Because marshmallows, I find, it's like, what's the point of having marshmallows in your hot chocolate, man? What's the fucking point? They're gonna get all melty. It's gonna become this nasty clump of like shit in your hot cocoa. And like... Especially if you have like a mustache like me, like I have a big old beard, and so like I get like the fucking marshmallows stuck in my mustache and shit, and it's all nasty. And no, if I'm gonna do anything, I'll put like a little whipped cream in mine. That's it.
Okay, I respect that.
So anyway, that's my hot chocolate policy, and it's served me well.
I respect it. I might give it a go. Maybe I'll give hot chocolate another go on my endless this Christmas.
Yeah, have a good old cup of hot cocoa this Christmas for me, Todd, for the folks at home. What are some Christmas traditions? Is there anything that you do just reliably every year for the Christmas season?
I haven't done anything reliably in like 3 years. But like if we go further back when I was a child, oh man, I used to sit there like every year. I used to watch every single, like, one of those old school Christmas movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like Red-Nosed, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, Grinch.
Yeah,
all those. I used to watch every last one of them every year.
You better believe it, man. That shit used to come, when I was a kid, that shit used to come on TV, like, every fucking Christmas. Like, you could just turn on the TV at any given point, basically, in the month of December. And, like, that one of those movies was on.
No, definitely.
It was fantastic. I miss it. And you know what? I would think coming into this holiday, I was like, oh man, it's 2017. Those movies all have to be like readily available, right? On some streaming service, like check Netflix, nothing. Hulu, nothing. Amazon Video, nothing. Like, in fact, there's some of them you can't hardly even buy, like, digitally. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, honestly, like, I'm probably gonna have to, if I want to do that this year, I'm gonna have to like sit there and dig through the old DVDs and shit.
Yeah, I mean they've re-released a lot of them on like they put like Blu-ray compilation discs out, but like I wanted to just kind of like have them like, so earlier tonight I did two things today. I had a company Christmas party that I went to, and when I got home I went on Amazon Video and I bought the Muppets Christmas Carol. Which is, and we'll talk more in detail about this, but that is the greatest Christmas movie ever made. As I was on Amazon Video, though, I was looking for some of the other, like, older ones. I was like, well, fuck it, I'll buy these too, because I want to watch them, Like you said, it's kind of like a tradition. I want to watch all these old movies, and they don't have them. There's no like easy way to sit there and buy that shit, and it blew my mind, man. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But I more so mean like, is there anything like is there anything that like your family does? Do you guys do like the open a gift early on Christmas Eve bullshit or anything?
Yeah, we do that actually.
Do you?
Like, not as much like as like, because we've been older, but like when we were kids, that was definitely a thing. Like we'd open up like one gift for like Christmas Eve and shit.
Yeah, I think my family used to do that a little bit too. You know, I have a funny story about opening gifts early that I wanted to bring up here in our Kringleian episode. You realize I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that as much as I can fucking.
I already know, and it's just I've accepted it.
There was one Christmas. It was maybe like a week or two before Christmas. My parents were out shopping, and Eden and I were home alone. Eden's my sister. She's like 3 years younger than me, 2 or 3 years younger than me, and I don't know. I would say I was probably like 9, and she was probably like 6 or 7. So anyway, they go and do their shopping. Eden and I are home alone, and Eden goes, "Hey, if you get one of your like smaller presents under the tree and open one up, like I'll open one of mine up, and then like we can just have them, and like I won't tell anybody. Like we'll just kind of like covertly open up, 2 of our kind of like smaller gifts under the tree." And I was like, all right, you're on. Let's do it. She grabs her gift. I grab mine. And she goes, all right, you go first. And I open mine up. And then she goes, all right, I'm telling Mom.
Absolutely savage.
I was like, what? She's like, I'm telling Mom you opened up your gift early. I was like, you motherfucker. So she calls my mom and like and I'm like crying and shit, and she's just like taking pleasure in my pain, and like she's like telling Mom, and like my mom, my mom tells her to like hand me the phone, and she's like, you're in so much fucking trouble, basically. And it wasn't even like a good gift. It was like something shitty. In fact, I remember exactly what it was. It was from like one of my grandparents. It was just like a $5 bargain bin DVD or something. It was Steve Martin's The Man with Two Brains. Just a totally random, kind of bad, stupid movie to give to an 8-year-old kid or however old I was. But yeah, my mom was like, you're in so much trouble, type shit. And when they got home and I like explained what actually happened, I wasn't in trouble at that point. But yeah, they were definitely like. It was definitely one of the many times my sister tricked me when I was younger. She was definitely the smarter, more sinister one. But we didn't really do like the every now and then we would open up a gift early on Christmas Eve. Like sometimes my sister and I would play that angle. There was a long gap of time. My sister is the only I have several siblings. When all told, I think I have like 8 or 9 siblings. Because both of my parents have divorced and gotten remarried and had kids. But my sister Eden, the one that's like 2 or 3 years younger than me, is the closest in age to me by far. All of the other ones are like 10 plus years younger than me. I'm the oldest out of all of them. And so she's the only one that's been like close enough in age to me to where I can have stories like that, because all the other ones are so young,
Mm-hmm.
Like your sister is your twin, and you guys, so you guys are obviously the same age, but like we, I've always been the older one,
Mm-hmm.
So I've never really had this sort of like sibling rivalry or like sibling sort of interaction other than her. So, and there's several stories I could tell you about her fucking me over like that. But yeah, we would sometimes have like this sort of like, we would pitch to our parents like, yeah, I just, this year I think we should open a gift early on Christmas. You
Oh,
know?
come on. You always gotta do that shit. Always.
We've collaborated. We've consulted the Kringleian Council,
Oh, god damn it.
and I think we should open a gift early this year. And like, fuck it, all right. You know, there's one year where I don't know why I still remember this. And it was so stupid. So, you know what? Before I tell this story, let me open with this. When you were younger, did you believe in Santa Claus?
I don't think I ever did. I don't.
You guys
I
were
think
not
that was
Santa
something-
Claus believing children?
Yeah, that was. I think that was something my family they didn't even touch that shit.
So, when I was a kid,
But can I tell you a funny thing though about that?
yeah.
Is so my uncle Ronnie, my cousins Tyler and Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they kept them believing in Santa for far too long.
They still believe in shit.
No, like that, not anymore. But like it was like it got to the point where I just like looked at them. I'm like, you guys still believe in this shit? I was like,
How old are we talking about?
dude, they had to at least be close to double digits.
Oh God.
That's why I was just like,
I guess I probably was like 10 or something when.
that's what I'm saying. Like I think one of them was 10, the other one. I don't know. I feel like it was just like, all right, guys.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Come here. Santa isn't real.
Ruin that for them. I don't remember how I learned that Santa wasn't real. It wasn't like a hugely impactful thing. I think it was one of those things where I was like, somehow I think I've always known type shit.
How could he get to each house every?
It's but
one night.
But it's just funny because I remember one year, my parents would have, you know, typical Southern family. My parents would always have Fox News on or whatever. And I remember one year they either Fox News or whatever news channel they were watching had a like Santa tracker on, like where they basically all it was something stupid for the kids where like it was just like, you know, it looked like a sort of like it was a world map. And so yeah, like there are these different blips like on this little sort of like and it looked like it was like a it basically looked like it was a world map that kind of like had that sort of green overlay, so it looked like a spy, you know, a spy map or something. And you know, 1 minute blip he'd be in Russia, 1 minute, you know, blip he would be in India or whatever. And you know, as a kid, I'm just like, holy shit, Santa's moving all over the place. He's just teleporting all over the world right now. Holy shit, this is amazing. And I wonder, I can't wait to see him hit my house, you know, and shit like that. There were definitely a couple of years where like my sister and I would try to stay up and like catch Santa in the act, you know. Like
I respect that.
Did you guys ever do that when you were younger?
Again, I'm telling you.
Oh, true. Yeah, you didn't even believe in Santa when you were younger. Yeah, we definitely did.
I never had that. I never had that childhood joy for that type of shit.
We definitely like there were times where like Eden and I would like sleep on the couch that, you know, that night or whatever. Like we'd just stay up all night. Like we'd tell my parents. And it's just funny now that I'm an adult. Like thinking about how my parents must have thought of it, you know, knowing that they were the ones buying the gifts and shit. Because I would tell my parents, like, yeah, I'm going to stay up in the living room all night and I'm going to fucking catch Santa tonight. And I'm just imagining my parents were like, oh, shit. Like, how are we going to pull this off, you know? Luckily for them, I was a fucking child, so, like, 9 o'clock came around and I'm sure I passed the fuck out, you know? But we would leave cookies out for Santa, and I'm sure my dad would just be eating them, whatever. You know?
That's the best shit. You wake up like he hates.
Yeah, we would leave cookies and milk out for Santa, and we would leave like carrots out for his reindeer and all that shit. And like, yeah, like the carrots would be gone. They would make sure to leave like a few crumbs on the plate of cookies, you know, like, oh shit, Santa came, he actually ate the cookies. Oh man. Oh, this is so cool. and like, and yeah, like we tried to catch him in the act one year and it just didn't work. Like, Anastasia, my fiance, her parents took a very, I think, intelligent approach to it that I respect. Their position on it was, okay, we are the ones buying you all of the gifts under the tree, but Santa is filling your stockings. I think that's actually really smart.
Yeah, it's a little. I like the way that's handled.
Like they sort of have this covert collaboration with Santa, where they're like, all right, Santa, like you can fill the stockings or whatever. So I was like, I actually like that. But no, man, believing in Santa was definitely a thing when I was a kid. Like it was definitely like I don't think any of my young friends like didn't believe in Santa. It was definitely a thing. Like we'd wake up on Christmas morning, he came, Santa came. You know, that kind of shit.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of the thing with like at least my family. I was more of the heavy duty religious side. I think my parents.
Yeah.
So like,
I can understand that. Yeah,
because I definitely Santa wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
All that shit wasn't a thing.
And it's so funny too how that's like my parents are more religious now than they were when I was a kid. They're still religious back then. Like I've always been raised Christian and stuff like that. They're definitely like much more, I guess, hardcore into it now than they were back then. And now, like with my little brother and sister, my really little, they're like 15 and 14. They were never told about Santa Claus. Like they actually, like they were like, no, it ain't Santa Claus buying you these gifts. It's Daddy Claus, bitch. You know. And so they were never given any like delusions of Santa Claus. So
that good old childhood joy.
There is something to be said though about that. Like,
yeah, there's something magical about it, you know. And I've always respected that level of it.
Yeah, like I gotta admit, like thinking back to those stories that I just told you about, like when I was a child, like all of those happened because I believed in Santa Claus.
Yeah, and they become magical memories for you.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
you know,
there's something to be said about that, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know, like it's a weird thing, you know, because I'm gonna have kids one day, and like, it's one of those things that you have to like ask yourself, like, okay, what approach do I want to have? Am I going to tell these kids about Santa Claus? You know, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those dilemmas, because on one hand, I want my kids to have memories like that. On the other hand, Santa ain't real, and one day they're gonna learn that. You know,
and then you got to deal with that side of it.
You're right. So there is something to be said about not even like indulging in that at all. You know, a big part, obviously, sort of spearheading off of that. You know, Santa is not the one giving presents. We are. Santa Claus is really an idea, Todd. Santa Claus is much like Batman. There doesn't need to be a Batman. We just need the tenets that he instills in us. The fear that he instills in the criminals is the Dark Knight, you know. Just as the fear that he instills in the criminals is Santa Claus. And just as his alter ego is Kris Kringle. So how do you feel about giving or receiving presents? What is your presents policy?
All right. Well, buying gifts for people, that starts, you know, the moment you start working for the most part.
Yeah.
Unless you just do some handmade bullshit.
Some fine handcrafted artisan presents.
I don't know about but yeah, I'm the type of person, I usually cop out. I usually do the cop out gift of like buying the entire family a gift.
Mm-hmm. I'm so envious of that, man.
Oh, it's love. And the thing is, it's also a gift to myself, because I get to enjoy.
Oh man.
So like last year, I bought my mother an air fryer.
Right.
Best purchase I ever made in my life.
I mean, you got a pretty good gig, man.
Purchased it for my family, you know, and I actually did the same thing this year. I bought them an Instant Pot.
Oh, Instant Pot is so great.
and she hasn't used it yet, but I'm ready for it.
Oh, you got to tell her. Oh, here's what you do. You get some ribs. I make the most amazing Instant Pot ribs. Instant Pot makes some killer ass ribs, dude.
Yeah, my mom usually does, like, when she does her ribs, she usually just does like the crock pot shit.
Well, the thing about it is, like, Instant Pot, you put it in the crock pot or whatever, you could let it rock for fucking hours. The thing about the Instant Pot, you take a rack of ribs, cut it down as much as you need to make it fit in there. I have an 8-quart. I think you got her, the 6-quart?
No, I think I actually got her an 8-quart.
So you got her an 8-quart too. So that's the biggest one they make. And yeah, so you cut down the ribs however you want. Just make the racks fit in the Instant Pot. A little bit of water. You put I put a dry rub on my ribs. The longer you can let the dry rub sit on there, the better. But yeah, you just kind of stick them in there. Maybe roughly chop an onion or something and put that in there for a little extra flavor. And literally, you just put it in the Instant Pot for 30 minutes. And they're fucking the most tender, fall off the bone. You pull them straight out of the Instant Pot, brush them with barbecue sauce, and then stick them under the broiler of your oven for 5 minutes to get a nice char on them,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I could stack that against any restaurant quality ribs, that you've had. I mean, they're wonderful. Fall off the bone tender. They've got a nice char on them from the broiler. And you could put a little liquid smoke in there if you really wanted that smoky flavor too.
Mm-hmm.
Instant
I'm gonna
Pot's
say
great.
right now, I'm not a fan of smoked meat.
Oh, really? I am.
Not a fan. I think that is a type. That's a type of preparation that is you either love it or you hate it.
I respect it.
I'm not big on it.
I like it. I definitely I definitely appreciate some smoked meat. But that's besides the point. So you got them the Instant Pot this year. Sorry to interrupt.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the type of person I am. I'm lazy. I don't want, because me and my sister are not we don't have the best relationship. So I don't expect her to buy me anything. I don't buy her anything.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm gonna feel like a jackass if she got me something this year.
Well, the thing with us, I really do envy that because that is such a nice, easy, clean way to deal with that.
Exactly.
And my family has discussed, let's just not buy each other gifts at all, and let's just all go on a vacation together or something instead.
See, I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That has been discussed because my family spends, my parents in particular. I don't know exactly how much money they spend per year, but between everybody that they're buying for, they probably literally spend enough money to go on a Disneyland vacation.
Ugh.
Literally.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So that option has been discussed where my dad's just rather than buying people gifts, let's just fucking rent a cabin in Washington for a week and just hang out, and have Christmas somewhere. And that sounds fucking wonderful to me. The problem is we still have the 14 and 15-year-old siblings who are fuck that, no presents? Fuck you,
They'll understand when they get older.
Yeah, but I would be totally down for that, That would take away so much stigma, from the whole gift giving thing. I do love giving gifts though. I love to give gifts. Receiving gifts is a little awkward for me. I'm a really awkward receiver.
I think me and you are on the same level of that. It's because it's just if I want something, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a hard person to shop for because if I want something, I just fucking buy it. And I have everything that I want. When somebody asks me what I want, I'm always just I don't know. It's normally, if I give somebody a hard item that they can buy for me, it's usually just something that I can't justify buying for myself, But, for the most part, I'm just you can literally get me a gift card. I promise you it's not lame. I will be okay with that. A gift card is good, Yeah,
that's honestly how I am for the most part. Same exact way.
Yeah, so, I understand that I'm hard to shop for. I'm good with a gift card, there are certain things where I'm like, this is a cool item or whatever, but yeah, I don't like the whole, everybody's got their eyes on you as you're opening the present and stuff like that, and it's just awkward for everybody involved. But I do like to give gifts, and we buy everybody individual gifts in our family, and we have a large family, and I do like sort of the process of like picking out people's individual gifts and seeing them open their individual gifts, but I do envy the idea of the quote unquote family gift. I do like that. I wish we could pull that off.
That's the way I do things.
I wish
that's the way I do things. What's funny is like as we've been talking, I've realized like I miss so many like technically Christmas traditions that I technically that my family fucks with.
Hey, go for it. Shout them out.
So yeah, I don't know if you remember. Like we haven't done this in years, but it was heavily a thing until about maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. Is that the Christkindlmarket that they do downtown Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we used to do that shit every year.
That shit is great.
Like, dude, yes, dude, I
still
killed
do
some
that?
food over there. They still do it. Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
actually, that's still a thing, dude. Like,
I haven't been.
If you ever,
I haven't been there in years.
yeah, if you ever like magically come down like during this time to Chicago, that's something we would have
gotta
to do.
go. Okay, I have not done that in years, dude.
Dude, it's still good. It is like forever good.
I have not done that. I was probably like 10 or 11 last time I did that.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Get some of them authentic ass like German bratwurst.
Oh yeah, dude. It's like, yeah, it's got all these good like meat options and shit. And I'm sure as an adult now they probably got all kinds of alcohol.
Oh, dude, yeah.
It's wonderful. It does feel a little bit like you're stepping into sort of a German Christmas market or something like that.
That's the whole deal. I love that's actually another thing. I love like the way that shit looks. It sucks because how packed it is.
Oh yeah.
It's just you can barely move around sometimes. Like that's why it's like you got to kind of like, because it's bad no matter when. Like if you go there at the beginning, it's packed. You go there at the end, you got people that are like doing a last minute dash.
Sure, yeah. I would love to just go there and just sample the food and just be in that.
Oh,
yeah.
it's still a good time. I definitely enjoy like as you say the good Christmas vibes from that.
Yeah.
And the other things is like this is more of a Christmas Eve thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for the most part like we always usually go to my Uncle Ronnie's house on Christmas Eve.
Right.
And when you bring up later on, we're gonna talk about our Christmas plans. This shit's happening. Usually go over to his house, and this is something that we've always done. We always do those like stupid like what is it? It's like an ornament game or whatever.
Okay.
It's like you sit there. It's like you buy like everybody that plays buys an ornament. And then you sit there, you wrap them up, and you it's like you get like a they put some numbers in a hat, all that garbage.
So it's white elephant,
get a number,
basically.
Yeah, basically, it's white elephant, but just with ornaments. And now like they're evolving.
Oh God,
they're adding new games. And here's the deal: when I was younger, I was forced to do this shit, and now I just like I'll go there, but I ain't playing your damn games. I'm gonna sit there and hate my life.
We had our, so I mentioned earlier I was at my company's Christmas party just earlier today, and we did Secret Santa, which was fine. Actually, it was kind of nice. Like my store manager Wendy she was my Secret Santa, and she got me a pug mug. The card that she got me had a pug on it. She got me a Harry Potter beanie. And then a 2018 pug wall calendar. It was pretty nice.
That's actually pretty legit.
I like pugs. But yeah, so the white elephant thing. Did they do the whole shit where they pull a number, and if you have the number or whatever, you're able to steal the gift or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So it's the white elephant.
And the thing is, what it always turned into is like some jackass in our family would buy the like animatronic pieces of shit.
Oh.
And it's just like, so you're supposed to do ornaments, right?
Right.
And it's just like, but like some jackass would buy like the dancing fucking like plushy things.
Where it's like this fat ass Santa just like wiggling his belly like, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's all it became. And it became just a mad dash. It's like it was basically they got to the point where like the like you got the numbers like, give me it, hand it over.
Everybody already knows what everybody wants.
Yeah, it became just like it got to the point where we had to like make new rules like motherfuckers can only steal like twice.
Yeah,
Stop
that's
it.
what a lot of White Elephant rule sets are like. That's fun though. I like that.
Yeah, it's like nowadays it's just like I'll go there, I'll have some food, I'll have some fun. Shit, last time I was there I got
shit faced.
shit face.
Yeah, you got nice and cringly.
Oh, I got something got crinkly. It was all bad.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
I'll go. A few of the games we played at my company Christmas party. There's. It's a new-ish game, I guess, because I had never heard of it. It's called the Cellophane Ball. Have you heard of this?
Oh yeah, it's like the Saran Wrap bullshit.
Right. It's basically this huge.
Yeah, we do that. They do that. That's when I said that they're evolving.
Ah,
Yeah,
they do that too.
They do that shit now too.
What sort of shit do they put in it?
I don't even. I'm gonna be real. I haven't played these games in a couple years. That shit dead. I don't do it.
Yeah. So basically, what it is it is a Saran Wrap, a ball just made of tightly wrapped Saran Wrap, and in our case, they put like scratch off lottery tickets in it, chocolate coins, and then anyway, in the center of it was a $20 bill. So the goal of it is. One person is trying to sort of unravel the Saran Wrap ball, while the person next to them is frantically rolling dice until they get doubles, and then the ball and the dice is passed on down. You just keep going until somebody gets to the center. And
Okay.
I'd never heard of it before. We had fun. Like, that was a blast. And it was funny because I went to pick up my fiance from work, and I brought her back to the Christmas party, and they actually purposefully saved the second Saran Wrap ball for when she was there. And, dude, Anastasia was fucking, like, getting violent with this ball. like everybody else is kind of gingerly, like, peeling the Saran Wrap off or whatever. Dude, she, like, stood up, pushed her chair back, and attacked that shit.
She wanted that 20.
Yeah. Everybody was like, holy shit. But it made it more fun because, like, it made everybody else kind of, like, step their game up a little bit,
Yeah, it's like they didn't realize they were just there to have fun. She came there to win.
She came to make fucking money. There was another one that wasn't really great because it was like you blew up a balloon and they had a line of like 15 red Solo cups and you had to use the air in your balloon to knock as many over as possible.
Okay.
So that was, it was fine. But anyway, so Christmas music is a big part of Christmas. How do you feel about Christmas music?
All right. I like it when it's actually on Christmas Eve and like Christmas Day.
Okay.
But again, it all boils down to the fact that I work in retail and I still do work in retail, and it's just like I've been hearing it for like the last like over a month now.
They start that shit
like,
pretty much right after Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's instantly that playlist. It goes. It's right there for like a solid like month.
What are some shout out tracks for you?
Here's another issue. I'm gonna tell you this right now. My issue is the shitty covers that I have to listen to.
Oh yeah, I hate that shit.
Just give me the classic sounding ones. I don't want to hear this fucking slow ass rendition of like Rudolph. Like it's just weird. It's like weird and like slow. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh my god.
I don't like it.
Oh my god. I don't know who does it, but I have heard it a few times now. There is this new version of Mr. Grinch that is awful. I mean, fucking abysmal.
I've probably heard it and I hate it.
And it's like, it's just so, like, the person, whoever it is, I don't know who it is, but whoever the singer is a fine singer, but like the approach that they brought to this song is like they're treating it like it's this big like operatic kind of song. It's like at the end, it's like Mr. Grinch, It's like,
yeah, I've heard it. I hate it. I've heard it. I hate it. See, that's my deal. Like, just give me the classic sounding ones. I'll be there all day.
Oh my
You know,
god.
I'll enjoy it.
It's even worse living
But,
in the
like-
South because you got to hear the redneckified versions of Christmas songs.
Oh, fuck all of that.
Grandma got ran over by a John Deere.
Oh no.
Rudy the redneck reindeer.
See, I would fucking shoot myself if I was forced to
You
listen to
know
that shit.
nothing of pain. It's bad,
Oh,
dude.
man.
It's fucking
It's
bad.
actually, it's funny is like, cause I usually work overnight, and I usually work overnight jobs, and that's actually the main reason I started wearing headphones at work. Because I'm just like, fuck this, I can't do this for a solid month. I can't.
Yeah, I like the classics, man. I you know, there are a couple like you know, kind of I guess more contemporary sort of covers of Christmas songs that are like okay, you know. But you know, I actually really like the Michael Bublé Christmas album. But which I guess is more contemporary, but even Michael Bublé sort of has that sort of classic like tinge to him a little
Yeah,
bit.
he still like kind of sticks to the roots a little more.
Yeah, like he's got that sort of big band sort of vibe, but I really like his Christmas album a lot. Sia put out a Christmas album this year, which I've listened to a little bit, and I don't necessarily like it, but I do respect it. Because it is
I'll probably end up checking it out. We're going to continue.
it's not great, but the thing that I respect about it is all original Christmas music.
Oh, okay.
So it is not like a collection of covers like other people do for their Christmas albums. She actually made a bunch of new Christmas music, and you know, like I said, I don't think any of them are great. I'll be real with you, and I've made this point again, and I think I'm right about this. The most recent original Christmas song that I would say is actually like a contemporary Christmas classic. The last time that was done, I think, was Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. That is the most modern Christmas song that I think can be considered like a classic.
I think I can agree with that.
Nobody's been able to dispute that with me. When I say that, nobody's been able to hit me with like, no, this newer song is also a classic. I think that was the last time somebody wrote an original Christmas classic. You know? There's this group that I like, this sort of like indie kind of folky hipster band. They're called Foxtails Brigade. And they have a really, really excellent song. Ironically, it is technically a Christmas song, but it's about not really being into Christmas. Like, it's called I'm Not Really in the Christmas Mood This Year. Excellent song. But again, you can't really... I mean, you're not going to be playing that while you're decorating the tree.
Shit, I would.
We got to shout out Matt Mulholland's cover of Silent Night. Or no, Oh Holy Night.
It's Oh Holy Night, yes.
It's wonderful. I won't spoil it for you, but I'll link it in the description, and you should listen to his cover.
Yes, I was hoping you'd do something.
We touched on this a little bit, but what are some of your favorite Christmas movies?
Again, I like a lot of those like the classics. You know, I like the good all those like claymation ones.
What are some modern ones
Like,
that you like though?
What is a modern one that has come out, like, other than, like, I don't really know the last modern Christmas movie I've watched this.
I mean, you got like classics like Christmas with the Cranks. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never.
No, I hate
never
that
in my
movie.
life.
But, like, you know, like the Home Alones of the world, you know?
Oh. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess. But I still, like, I'm more of a... I do definitely prefer, like, those claymation movies, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and all that shit.
Yeah.
Those are my go-tos.
I already said it, and I just watched it earlier tonight, and it still holds true. The Muppets Christmas Carol is the best Christmas movie ever made. Fantastic movie.
I can respect that.
Fantastic movie.
I think if I would say my favorite, just because like I enjoy the song, is Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah. Yeah. My favorite part of that is when the song gets all intense and he's like, down to the village.
You know what's funny is I was actually in the car recently and they were playing it, and that is something that you have told me about. You always, and I find it funny as well, is it got to that point, and it's just down to the. I was just sitting there laughing, and people were looking at me like, "What's fucking wrong with you?" I'm like, "There's nothing."
I just imagine him like this like abominable snowman like going down and just killing everybody in the village. Because the guy singing it almost sounds scared of Frosty when he says that. Down to the village with a broomstick in his hand.
Going down to beat some ass.
Exactly. It always made me laugh. I don't know why.
Shit.
But yeah, I love those classics, man. A close second for me to Muppet's Christmas Carol, which by the way, that movie is so wonderful and so funny even still, and a fantastic performance from Michael Caine and awesome original score, original music. It's so fucking good. Like, if you watch one Christmas movie this year, I encourage you to watch A Muppet's Christmas Carol. Have you ever seen A Muppet's Christmas Carol?
I don't think I ever have.
Dude, I'm telling you, you gotta watch it. You have got to watch it. Like, we should do that, actually, one night when we're both off. Just watch it together.
Make that, do you want to do a good old fuckboy movie night?
Yes. We have got... That movie is so fucking good. But yeah, I also, a close second for me is Love Actually. I love that movie. So cheesy, but like that movie really like puts me in the Christmas spirit. And that's another one where it's like it's a must watch every year in my house because like it has all my favorite British actors in it. It's hilarious. It's heartwarming. It's a fucking great movie. Oh man, there's so many I can shout out right now. You know. This is another one that we watch every year is Die Hard. Now, before you start to groan, because I swear to fucking God.
No, I'm with you on that.
Well, here's the deal. I hate the people who like think it's like some crazy original thoughts and be like, Die Hard's a Christmas movie. I'm like, yeah, it is, but like you don't gotta act like you're all crazy for crazy and funny for thinking that.
No, I always watch Die Hard around Christmas.
Yeah, Die Hard's like legit a Christmas movie though. That's what people don't understand. Is people are like, "Oh, my favorite Christmas movie is Die Hard." I'm like, "Fuck off." But the movie takes place during Christmas, you know, and like I mean literally there's even like Christmas stuff like when he puts that note on that dead guy's body and it's like I have a machine gun, ho ho ho.
Yeah.
Like it's legit a Christmas movie, you know? And it has a good like kind of Christmas message sort of to it at the end, you know, and I like it, you know, like it's a great fucking movie. Are there any video games that sort of either remind you of Christmas or like sort of video game related Christmas memories? Were you ever the Nintendo 64 kid? Nintendo 64! Yeah, anything like that?
Like I probably do, but I just don't remember it. Like you know, like if I ever got like a console for like Christmas or some shit, or because my memory is like absolute ass nowadays. Well, like when it comes to,
is there anything that sort of like are there any video games that sort of make you like feel like Christmassy sort of like any video game Christmas vibes or anything?
I mean, I know what game you're gonna say.
Yeah, like well. Really a series like for me like Elder Scrolls like I especially Skyrim since it's all wintry, you know.
Yeah,
like I for sure will sit here and play a lot of Skyrim this holiday, you know.
Yeah, which you kind of already have then, honestly.
Yeah, like I've been messing with it and stuff just because again it just feels Christmassy to me. Like I guess big RPGs in general, like another one that I have a really strong memory of is KOTOR and KOTOR 2. Like
okay.
And Nintendo games, for sure. Like, Nintendo and Christmas go hand in hand for me. Like, I remember the first console that was ever actually mine, that I actually ever owned for myself. Like, we had a Super Nintendo, but it was kind of like we had to share it and stuff like that. Yeah. The Nintendo 64 was mine. And that was so, like, monumental to me. Christmas morning... Nintendo 64 and Super Mario 64. You can't beat that, dude. Like, you can't beat that. I'll never forget that. And, like, even, like, I remember really, Christmas was the like kind of one time a year that I would get video games growing up. Other than like if I wanted to save up my money, like my parents would give me money to do like chores around the house and stuff, and if I wanted to save that up and buy my own video games, I could. But otherwise, birthday and Christmas, that was it. Otherwise, you're not like you don't get video games just because you.
Yeah, damn straight. That's some real shit.
You know what I mean? Like video games are too expensive. It was either birthdays or Christmas, you would get a new game. You know, so yeah, like the original Xbox. I remember getting that as a Christmas present, like opening that on Christmas morning, and it came with Jet Set Radio Future and Sega GT 2002. Like I'll never forget that, man. So good. And Halo and everything. Like Halo feels like a Christmas game to me too, in that same respect. Man.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Yeah, like there's just certain games where I just have like good Christmas memories with them. Like definitely like Zelda and Mario always feel like Christmas games to me. I love it. I got my GameCube as a Christmas present, and yeah, it really, up until I started buying consoles myself, pretty much every console I've ever gotten was a Christmas present,
Yeah, that's you're probably right about that. Like the thing with like me is like I'm pretty sure like my family, my dad, you know this about my dad. My dad's the type of dude, he needs that shit like day one.
Right.
So like half the time, like if I ever got like when I was younger, like something for myself, I think you're probably right. It'd probably be like a Christmas present. But like, here's the deal, man. I got no memory past like 5 years ago.
Fair enough. Yeah, I definitely have some great Christmas memories of like opening up that new console and just playing it just all day long. I really Christmas to me at its base. It felt more special, I guess, when I was a kid, but there's still just
like I said, it was just like it had the magic to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you were a kid. Everything like you didn't know how the world worked.
Yeah, your soul was not blackened yet properly.
Yeah, it's there's something magical about that. Like, well, that's just being a kid in general.
Yeah, yeah, but and I do think that Christmas still holds a little bit of potency. Like I think there is still a little bit of that Christmas magic. It's fleeting. It isn't there like it was when I was a kid, but I think there is still some floating around, and I think that's why I still
the vibes are still there.
Yeah, I think that's why I still like Christmas so much. What do you? I think we sort of touched on this earlier, but what are your plans this Christmas? What's going on?
All right, so let me start with my day's off because I'm gonna be off actually on Christmas and all that shit.
Nice.
So I'm pretty sure the 23rd I'm doing shit, the 24th I'm doing shit, the 25th I'm doing shit.
All right, nice. So
23rd I'm actually going to your dad's house.
Okay.
I'm actually we're going over there and we're gonna do gingerbread houses.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be a thing.
Is everybody doing their own individual gingerbread house or what?
No, here's the deal. Again, I get out of this shit because I'm not big on doing shit.
Yeah.
It's a miracle that I even go to these like family gatherings.
You're just one of those go for the food type shit.
That's exactly how I am for the most part. Like, but I am gonna help out. I think I'm gonna help out like my mom or some shit because I know she's doing it. So I'm probably just gonna jump in with her and help her out. Other than that, but then like I said, Christmas Eve, I'm doing my whole Uncle Ronnie, doing all that crap. And the plethora of games that they've added to the agenda.
Regarding gingerbread houses, I think my fiance and I, we're one of those like if we have to do anything cooperative for like an extended period of time, it like turns into a fight. Like it's one of those like that's one of those like we're fucking like
you're not putting the walls up right.
Yeah, exactly. We're sitting there like fucking. Well, if you're so fucking smart, why don't you put the gumdrops over here, you fucking piece of shit? It's like
I wanted the icing to look like fucking icicles. You fucking.
If you put the icing like that, it doesn't look like fucking snow, does it, you idiot? So we don't really we don't do the gingerbread houses really anymore.
Yeah, I'm not too big on it. It's actually kind of always to a certain extent been a thing. Like back in the day, we actually used to do it at it was a friend of my grandfather, like my mom's dad. It was a friend of him. We used to go over to their place, and they had like a shit ton of people there building gingerbread houses. It was just a thing.
Aesthetically, I like gingerbread houses.
Aesthetically, you wouldn't like the ones I used to make.
Like, what are you gonna do at the end of it? Eat it?
That's my deal. I don't care. Like, here's the deal. It's just sitting out there, and it gets kind of just nasty.
Yeah, it's
and
getting gross.
Yeah, that's my whole deal. Like, you gotta eat. Like, here's the deal. You make it, just eat it. Just eat it like right then and there.
Well, not even that. Like, it's not even good fresh. It's like this nasty, stale gingerbread. They give you the shittiest candy. Like, the gumdrops they give you are like fucking rock solid. It's really just an aesthetic thing. I'm just like, what are you doing with it afterwards other than throwing it away?
Take a picture of it like a basic bitch.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, again, I like the way it looks. You know, it's sort of like, to me, my fiance is really into these sort of like little miniature Christmas towns, you know? You know what I mean? Okay. Like little trees and shit with the trains and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I like again, love the way they look, but like what function does it serve? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anyway, continue your Christmas plans.
So when we get to the Christmas Eve aspect of it, like that's going to be me. I'm going to sit there at my Uncle Ronnie's, and people are already telling me, Todd, don't drink. Don't drink, Todd.
After the fiasco.
If you're going to drink, don't drink as much. Again, I did drink. I did drink too much, and I will own up to that.
Okay.
But I will always say it. I blame the tequila at the end.
Are you an eggnog drinker?
I was actually hoping you'd bring it up. I fucking hate eggnog.
Me too. Do not like it.
I'm not. I've never been a fan. I just don't like it.
Yeah, me either. Anastasia loves it. You know what it is for me? And I'm gonna say what we're all thinking. I feel like I'm drinking cum. I'm gonna say what we're all thinking. It's like this thick, white, you know, like overly thick. I just feel like I'm just drinking a straight bottle of Christmas jizz.
Title for this episode.
Oh man, yeah, no, it's definite. Like that's exactly why I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I've never liked it, not a fan. I just don't like any aspect of it. I don't like the flavor, the texture.
I like the flavor fine, but like the only time that I will actually sit there and drink eggnog is like if you put some bourbon in it, you know? Like,
because you gotta spike it. That's the only time.
Yeah.
I mean, I can agree with that, but it's just like at that point, I feel like you're doing too much.
Yeah, I avoid it, but she'll sit there and she'll just drink literally, she'll buy a carton of eggnog and just fucking drink it. Like,
can I like? I'm gonna go off on a tangent, like, cause I work at a grocery store. Mm. I have seen some weird shit lately.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if you've been in the store recently. Have you seen like there's mint milk and like orange dream milk?
Weird. No, I've not seen that.
Yeah, it is some weird shit. Like, I've seen it at the store that I used to work at. I would just sit there and look at it. I'm like, I'm intrigued by it.
Like in little quarts?
But it disgusts me No, just like in gallons.
In gallons, wow.
Full fucking gallons of, like, it's called like orange dream milk. I'm like, what is this, like fucking dreamsicle?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I've seen...
but a part of me is like...
I've seen these...
it's weird.
You know, have you ever, like, the Promised Land brand milk? Like, the little quarts of milk that, like...
Yeah, I know where you're going with
Yeah, they had, like, peach milk one time, and I bought it. It was actually fucking delicious.
It's weird to me. That's the thing. I'm just like... But the other part of me is like, I guess it makes sense, because, you know, we're jackasses. We've made chocolate milk, strawberry.
I'm not the type of person that just sits there and just drinks milk, though. You know?
Yeah, I'm not really like that.
Especially now that I'm older, like, the human body, it's actually just a scientific fact. Like, the human body was not meant to properly break down dairy. And the closer I get to 30, the more my body rejects milk. Like...
You're becoming lactose intolerant.
I'm not lactose intolerant, but it's like if I eat too much cheese or ice cream or something, like, I'm gonna pay for it. You know.
Oh, I think you sent me a message about something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna fucking pay for it. And like, as I said in that message, I have to like find the strength to I have to find the discipline within me because I love cheese and stuff, man. Like, I love that shit.
Oh, dude, like that's I'm a big fan of cheese. But so I think Christmas Day though, like Christmas Eve is all about the Uncle Ronnie thing, doing a bunch of these bullshit games, and I think Christmas Day I might end up going back to Uncle Ronnie's.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's always a thing. Like, you know, I'll wake up in the morning, Christmas Day, we'll do like the little exchange of gifts and shit. Probably my grandfather and his wife will come over.
That's cool.
And I like how I don't call her grandma, but I never have.
Well, yeah, you know, after your grandma passed away, she's an extremely sweet woman. I've never had anything but great interactions with her. After she passed away,
we getting feelsy with this.
she's a great woman. Great woman. One of the best. After she passed away though, like your grandpa, who is a great man too, hilarious. Your grandpa's fucking hilarious.
Oh, he's a good guy.
Always been. He sort of feels like a surrogate grandpa to me a little bit, because like he's always sort of, he's never like treated me any differently or anything like that, even though I'm not technically his grandson.
He's not that kind. He's not that kind of guy. He's just a real
He's
good
just
guy.
a good dude. And he's lived across the street from you guys for years. Anyway, when he remarried after your grandma passed away, understandably so. Like it wasn't like he fucking immediately remarried or anything like that, but
no, it was there was
some
a while
time,
after, you know,
but he did remarry, and you know, I have to say, like, that was something that I struggled with after PaPaw passed away. With Granny, like, I don't want her to be alone, but at the same time,
you also don't want her to have. Yeah.
Well, at the same time, it's not that I don't want her to find somebody else. I do. Like, I don't want her to live the rest of her life alone, but like, nobody's ever gonna fill those shoes, you know?
Yeah, it's like
just like she's never gonna fill your grandma's shoes, you know?
No, never. Like, I have too many good memories of that woman.
Yeah, like
it makes me sad.
Just never gonna. That's just not gonna happen, you know. But anyway, getting depressing up in this bitch.
I know, but you know, that's the thing. Like, a certain level of like talking about Christmas, you get into those. You talk about family, and you get into some depressing sides of talking about
Christmas and family go hand in hand, you know, and that's what I like so much about it, you know. This Christmas, I don't know what my work schedule is going to be like yet this Christmas. Cause I work at a store that is open 24 hours. We never close. So it's very possible that I'm working on Christmas. I don't know if I am or not. If I am, it's time and a half, which is fine. But like, the only thing is I made sure that I'm taking off the day after Christmas, cause that's when my family is celebrating. Because my dad works a job with really odd hours. That is sort of he's an aircraft mechanic, and he actually works on an island off the coast of Texas, and doing aircraft mechanic work on helicopters. And he kind of works these like weird schedules, and he isn't actually going to be back home until the day after Christmas. So that's when we're going to be doing our Christmas stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much my Christmas plans. Now, depending on if I'm working on Christmas or not, I may or may not be doing a sort of mini Christmas meal for my fiance and I in our apartment. I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, like if I don't work that night, I can justify cooking all day. If I do work that night, I can't justify it.
Yeah,
But if I don't work that night, I'm probably going to pick up a ham because, you know, as you've said, during Christmas, the backup ham becomes the primary ham.
It is definitely the primary food around Christmas in my eyes.
So I'll pick up like a small ham, you know, just for us, and I'll maybe make some mac and cheese. And I think I'm actually making mac and cheese for my family for our like big proper Christmas dinner. I'm thinking about getting a little experimental with it this year. Like I think I might like put some bacon in there. Make a good bacon and pepper. Like maybe put maybe do like some bacon and like some chilies in it.
You're speaking my language.
That's what I'm thinking about for the mac and cheese this year. We'll see. And then maybe some like mashed potatoes or some rolls or something like that. I was thinking about just kind of making like I've never I've been cooking for a little over a year now, and I've gotten pretty good at it, and I like to cook, but I've never actually made like a sort of, I guess, holiday meal for a lot of people or anything like that. So it's sort of baby steps. If I'm off on Christmas or on Christmas, I guess, night this year, I would like to prepare a little sort of feast for my fiance and I. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But that's really it for my Christmas plans. I want to see Star Wars at some point.
By the time this episode is up, I will have seen it. So.
I don't know when. That's the most depressing thing. Star Wars is one of the things I love most about this life, and not only have I not seen it,
you don't know. You might have seen it by now.
Maybe
by the time this comes
maybe,
up. So.
But as of right now, in this moment of time, not only have I not seen The Last Jedi, I don't know when I'm going to, because the moons have to fucking align for me to go see a movie.
Well, the moons have aligned for me. I will have seen it by the time this episode is
out. For me, like, I have to, my schedule has to be clear enough to see it, first of all, and then my fiance's schedule is too, and it is so rare that her and I both have time off together. It's going to be a struggle, but we are going to see Star Wars at some point, hopefully before Christmas. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm going to play some video games. I'm gonna definitely play some video games, and that's about it. I'm probably gonna bring my Switch over to my family's house. We'll probably
there you
go. Probably play the Jackbox Party Pack or something like that. Maybe bring a few board games, and I'll just kind of spend the day over there, and that's about it.
I think I might actually get the DLCs of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
bought and downloaded, and maybe bring my Switch over those couple days and actually just sit there and chill.
Yeah, boy. Although it's gonna be hard. Like, if you're playing the DLC for Breath of the Wild, like, it's pretty challenging. And
yeah, I know it's probably gonna suck playing on like the handheld.
Well, it's not even that. The game controls well in handhold mode, but you're gonna be sitting there at Christmas just in a corner, just going "fuck," like, motherfucker.
Piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
it's the Dark Souls of Zelda DLC.
Anyway, is there anything else you wanted to say? You want to wrap this present and deliver it to the folks?
The only other thing I could say is fuck eggnog.
fuck that carton of Christmas jizz. All right, so let's wrap up this Kringleian episode. I had to get one more in there.
I know you did.
You've been listening to Nerd Bourbon. If you've had a good time listening to us talk about Christmas, if you've enjoyed spiking your Christmas jizz with Nerd Bourbon this holiday, go ahead and throw us a follow or a sub on whatever service you're listening to us on. If there's a service we aren't currently on that you want us on, let us know so we can make that happen. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, leave them for me. Leave me cues so that I can provide you an A. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/nerdbourbon, and we are at nerdbourbon on Twitter. And as I always say, the best and only way for us to grow is for you to tell your friends. So thank you guys so much for listening to us. Have a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. And make sure, as always, that you get fucking dunked on. Bye.
Fucking jackass. See ya.
To the village with a broomstick in his hand, running here and there all around the square, saying, catch me if you can.